Keep yourself in the loop of everything football. Listen to Alex and Jeremiah on the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Hello there, I'm Jeremiah.
I am Alex, always and forever here.
Dedicated to college and NFL football. The latest football news on and off the field. NFL draft trade rumors. We've got you covered from the NFL, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, ACC, and everything else in between. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Thank you for tuning to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, where we talk the latest news, rumors, and games of the NFL and college football from the latest science to this year's breakout stars and all the news in between. As always, I'm Jeremiah.
And I am Alex. I'm back. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? How was Comic-Con, by the way? I think the good people want to know how your vacation was, quote-unquote vacation.
Dude, it was great.
Yeah.
I had so much fun.
Really?
Yeah,
explain to the good people what you did at Comic-Con, you know.
Well, I got to see a lot of the stuff I've always wanted to see in person. You know, I got to see the Batmobile in person and props from Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. And I got to see a lot of people that I really admire and like. And I got to meet a lot of people that I really like and see them in person.
Who'd you see in person?
You know who Kevin Smith is?
Yeah, I know
I saw
Kevin
Smith
Yeah.
in person. I met some guys from a podcast and YouTube channel I really like called Screen Junkies. If you've ever seen those honest trailers, the guys that do
yes,
that.
yes,
I got to meet Hal Rudnick, who's one of my favorite people, and he told me he's gonna be in Sacramento this week. He's like, "Yeah, I have a comedy show. You should come hang out." And I was like, "I would love to do that." So I got told to do that. I saw like an inch away from me. We were passing him as we were walking out of the Marriott, which is right next to the convention center. Jim Lee, who is one of the most notable Batman artists of all time. I saw him. I saw some of the cast of The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow in person. Supergirl. I saw a lot of people. Super psyched. I saw a guy that does DC All Access on YouTube. His name's Jason Inman. I saw a guy that does the Schmoes Knows channel. His name's Christian Harloff. I saw the girl that does DC All Access with Jason Inman, Tiffany. I forget her last name. Smith, I think. Tiffany Smith. She has a different last name on Twitter, and that's the one I always remember, but it's not a real last name. It's just a name, you know. I saw her, and it was just really, really cool, yeah, because these are people that I've admired for so long, you know what I mean? Like, as a kid, like, you know, you're seeing all these people that you really, really like, and then you see them, you know, they're just regular people. Like, I got to meet Hal, and he was just so nice. And he's like, "Oh, you're from Sacramento? That's really cool." And we, like, talked and took pictures with people and stuff, and so that was really cool. And then obviously, like, the cast of Suicide Squad was there, so I was in the same town as Jared Leto was.
Yeah, that was pretty
Ben
awesome.
Affleck at one point.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I went to the concert, and the concert was really rad. I went there on Thursday night. Yeah, man, it was just a lot of good times. I saw the cast of Star Trek. They were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
okay.
they had the world premiere of the new Star Trek there at Comic-Con.
Okay.
Bruce Campbell, if you're familiar with who Bruce Campbell is.
Yes, from Evil Dead, right?
Yeah,
yes,
Ash vs. Evil Dead, or plenty of other stuff Bruce Campbell's been in. Also, I forget his name, Lee something, but he was the $6 Million Man in the television show. I saw him there as well.
Oh, yeah. I don't have his name on top of my head right now. I
can
know
find
who
it on my
you
phone,
are
but
talking about, yeah.
He played the $6 Million Man. And saw him. Saw a lot of really cool people that I was like, hey, another person, you know. And a lot of the people, too, that I'm really big fans of are, you know, they're people that are not super notable, you know, like the Christian Harloffs and the Jason Inmans, and I'm saying, and Hal Rudnick, the people that are on YouTube that aren't necessarily, like, stars or anything. So the cool thing was the fact that they were really just walking around like I was, you know, like a regular person. Like, not everybody's going to recognize them except for me. And the cool thing, too, is kind of keeping an eye out, because a lot of, like, Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, was walking around on the floor with a mask on, like, just around people. You know what I mean? I like to think I probably could have figured it out, because that's a huge human being.
Yeah.
But, you know, little stuff like that. Like, people do it just for fun, you know?
The thing I always loved recently about Comic-Con is Conan O'Brien. He does his shows.
Yeah, I sort of saw him.
Yeah.
The way they did it, they had on the marina. I've never been to San Diego. It's beautiful. I would love to live in San Diego. It was a great great time. I want to go back. I might go back in February for my buddy's birthday, who I went with. But on the backside of the convention center is like the marina, right, and boats and everything. And in the marina, they like made a stadium, like there's grass and stuff, and then they had like seating, and then there was water, and that's where they had the show for the premiere, right?
Oh, okay.
And so from the marina, it's probably like maybe 100 yards out, if that, maybe 75. So it wasn't insanely far. And then they had the big screen, obviously. And so Conan was the one that introduced it. And so you could see him. So I saw him in the cast and stuff. And then if you've seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies, have you seen those?
Yeah,
Tokyo Drift.
I've seen all of them.
Han?
Yeah, dude.
Walked right past me.
He is my favorite character on that series.
Walked right past me.
Wow, that was awesome.
Like, people were looking at him, and I turned, and I catch it, and I was like, hey,
that was Han.
No idea what his real name was.
Yeah.
I
would like Han. Freak out if I saw him in real life.
He came for the premiere. Yeah, he walked right past me. Like I almost bumped into him because I wasn't paying attention, and I almost turned around and like walked right into him.
Cool. Anyways, back to what I was saying, like Conan O'Brien, he does the shows live there for the past couple of years, and I don't know. I just always thought it would be cool to go to Comic-Con, see Conan O'Brien, see all these stars. But I don't know. Hopefully I go next summer.
Yeah.
I keep saying that every year.
Oh,
always next year.
I've said it every time, and and this is finally the year I get to go.
I don't know. Hopefully one day I get to I'm assigned to work there,
Media pass it.
Media passing. So
yeah.
one day.
I might try to do that next year. I don't know. All I know is I am happy because normally Comic-Con purchasing tickets for like July is in February.
Yeah, they sell out fast too.
Unless you went the year prior, then it's in November of the same year. Like,
okay.
in like a couple months.
All right.
And they get the people that went the year prior get first like dibs. In a sense,
Yeah. So you get first dibs now.
Yes, in a sense, yeah. So
okay. You lucky. You lucky person. You lucky man.
It's lucky and unlucky because now I have way less time to save money for it. It's not a cheap. It's not a cheap
trip, because it's in San Diego. So
exactly, we drove down. So
did you? Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't.
That even costs us money to drive down. But anyways, we're gonna start with our show. We're gonna start our show finally.
Now that I'm back.
All right. Anyways, that's a good story that you just told me, Alex.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. But anyways, we got some breaking news for you guys to start off the show. News that broke out just a while ago. The league, NFL, has reinstated Josh Gordon. That's right. Cleveland Browns receiver Josh Gordon has been reinstated this season. But
on a conditional basis.
But he is suspended for the first 4 games and is eligible to return on October 3rd.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This is a surprise to me. I didn't see him getting reinstated.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think he was either, honestly. I thought he was going to be kind of like on that Justin Blackmon category. Like, it was going to take a while for him to come back.
Yeah, Justin Blackmon's never coming back.
Yeah,
never.
Because Blackman's never coming back.
No.
Yeah.
No way, man.
But I'm really excited to see Gordon back because this guy was one of the most electrifying players on the field.
It's going to be interesting to see if he's in shape for it still.
Yeah, and it's going to take him a while to get back into football shape because this guy hasn't played in a year and a half, basically. So he's not going to get that. He's not going to play with that same electricity right away.
Yeah,
he's had to get his football, legs under him.
Yeah, I really wonder if he's been keeping in shape for this because, like, say Justin Blackmon, guaranteed that dude is out of shape. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if Josh Gordon got stayed in shape and stayed in in football shape for the most part, and he can really come in and be what he was. And I'm not saying right away, but get back to that during the season. It's a big boost for RG3 if you ask me. If he indeed is the starter,
it's huge. It's huge for that offense.
That's a Baylor player connection right there.
And then these guys played together too.
That's what I'm saying. Baylor connection. It's somebody he's familiar with. That automatically is something that's a plus for him.
Yeah,
and that's that's not bad if you look at it. That's a young connection between a quarterback who's still on the young side of his career, who has potential and who could still have a very good career. Josh Gordon, who if he can get it figured out, is a great wide receiver, and then they're building a decent offense. Their defense took a step back. They lost some players, but their defense is a stingy defense.
Yeah, they're pretty underrated, honestly.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because the defense they play in has 3 solid offenses. To play against. 2 times a year each, so that's the tricky thing. But I think it's definitely I mean obviously it's a big plus for the Browns in general, getting one of your best players back.
The big plus for Josh Gordon is that he gets to join his team at training camp, which is huge for him.
Oh, that is a big deal.
That is huge. So he has an even better chance to get back into football shape.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Especially with so this came in at the right time for Josh Gordon. Possibly the right time for the Cleveland Browns, too. And
yeah.
They're more intriguing now with Josh Gordon on the field now.
Oh, yeah, they're. And especially, it's weird because the NFC North, I'm sorry, the AFC North, the AFC North has always been known for good defenses, right? And in the past few years, it's kind of shifted in terms of good defenses, really good offenses with the Steelers, and then the Bengals had a really good, type of offensive scheme, and the Ravens have a different kind of scheme than both of them, but it's still, good. And then the Browns are kind of still with that notable defense that, like we said, was stingy and stuff. It's weird because the last few years, like the Steelers defense, I would say the front seven is a really good front seven. But as of now, without knowing anything about how the secondary is going to shape out this year with the new draft picks and bringing in their second-round pick last year, Senquez Golson, who missed the entire year after he had shoulder surgery, like how that secondary is going to look, right? You have a depleted still Ravens secondary that was one of the worst last year in football, and there was a lot of injuries. But even when healthy, there was issues with that secondary. And then you have members of the secondary that left the Bengals as well, with Reggie Nelson leaving and guys on the other side of their career, like Pac-Man Jones in terms of age and such, So it's going to be interesting to see if, it's the same story with these defenses that maybe, now they're playing another notable number one receiver because you have the Steelers have Brown.
Yeah, the division keeps getting tougher with these
receivers. The
receivers.
Ravens still have Steve Smith,
AJ Green with
AJ
Cincinnati.
Green with Bengals, and then
you got Antonio.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then now you have
Antonio
Josh
Brown,
Gordon. You know what I mean? That must be that's the best division in my eyes for receivers.
Yes, I agree. Josh Gordon makes it that much better. Remember, this guy was arguably probably the top receiver when he was healthy. When he was healthy and wasn't being silly at the same time. I'm talking about Josh Gordon.
Yeah, of course. I said NFC East is close with you have a team that has Dez and you have a team that has OBJ, and then the Redskins have a decent receiving core. I say they're close when it comes to team with divisions with real good receivers. I would say the NFC North with the Packers and Nelson and the Bears and Alshon Jeffrey and teams like that, and the Lions when they had Megatron, they were up there too.
They don't have Megatron anymore. The Vikings
don't really have a notable number one receiver.
They just have solid core guys. So there's no true number one.
So I would say AFC North, and then I would say like NFC East because you can't. You got two of the conversation two of the best.
I think the AFC North is probably the best group of receivers.
That's what I'm saying. I say you have them, and I said the closest would be the East. For sure, because you can't pass up Dez and OBJ. And then even Deshaun Jackson plays really well. And then if you want, you could even just swipe in, instead of Deshaun Jackson, you could swipe in their tight end instead with the Redskins, somebody who's as good, if not more productive for the team, And then, what team am I missing? Giants, Redskins? Oh, the Eagles. They don't really have a notable...
No, they just have a solid core of guys. They're pretty young.
Yeah,
they got Jordan Matthews there. Nelson Aguilar from
Aguilar,
yeah,
from USC.
That's a weird name to spell. Aguilar.
It's a weird spelling of that name. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the thing I want to get into about Josh Gordon, though, I think this is his last chance.
Oh yeah.
This is his last chance, and hopefully, Josh Gordon surrounding himself with a better group of people. Because if he misses this chance up, he's done, man.
Yeah,
he's done.
He's done.
This is his third suspension that he's coming off of. Because he got suspended for 2 games in 2013, 10 games in 2014,
and then a full year.
So this is his third suspension he's coming back from. So it's a make it or break it season.
I agree.
Off the field for Josh Gordon.
It's all over the place. All over the place, man. All right, well, we are going to take a break here at the Golden State Media Concept Football Podcast, and we're going to get into the rest of the news of our day, and we will update you on what that is here in a minute. So we will be right back at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
All right, welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. And before we get into our next segment here, I want to actually have a fun fact for you guys this season.
I love fun facts, man.
Yes, we were talking about Josh Gordon. Alex and I were talking about Josh Gordon in the previous segment.
There it is.
So the game that Josh Gordon will be eligible to return on October 3rd, who are they playing? The New England Patriots. Who else is coming back from that game? Tom Brady. So we're seeing the return of Josh Gordon and Tom Brady in the same game. Yes.
Man.
I'm hyping up that matchup right now. I'm hyping it up, guys.
What week is that?
Week 5. Yeah.
Right.
I'm hyping it up, guys. I'm hyping it up right now. Get ready. Man. Mark your calendars, guys.
October 3rd?
October 3rd, week 5.
3 days before my birthday.
Yes.
Boom,
all right.
Boom, boom. All right, man.
All right.
So we're going to get into some sad news.
Some sad news that broke last week.
It was Friday?
It was Thursday night, Friday morning.
I want to say Friday morning because obviously I was at Comic-Con.
And the news broke after I did my shows last week.
Yeah, exactly.
And the former Minnesota Vikings and Arizona Cardinals coach, Dennis Green, passed away last week from complications of cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
He was only 67 years old. And, man, this Dennis Green is just probably one of my favorite coaches.
Yeah, dude. He was a great coach.
Great guy.
Minnesota Vikings, Arizona Cardinals, for those who recall.
Yeah, this is a guy that drafted Randy Moss, coming off character issues when Randy Moss was at Marshall. And Larry Fitzgerald when he was in Arizona. Anquan Bolden.
Yep.
Anquan Bolden. You can't forget about Chris Carter.
Nope, can't forget about Chris Carter.
And Dante Culpepper. He was good for first half.
Culpepper was a pretty good player.
He was good. He was a good player when the Vikings win, yeah.
And it was Thursday night, yeah. He's a great coach with the Vikings. He made 8 playoff appearances in 10 years. Like that.
That is amazing.
He reached the NFC Championship game in 1998 and 2000. 1998 is the season that they ended up losing. It was the first kick that Anderson missed the entire year, and they are arguably considered one of the best teams, if not the best team to not make a Super Bowl.
And I want to get into that 98 team. Like, how great was that 98
team? That team was insane.
That was just one of the best teams to not
15-1.
That was just amazing because that was the resurgence of Randall Cunningham.
Yep.
If you remember, he just made an absolute big comeback, and Dennis Green was a huge part of that comeback for Cunningham.
Trading for Chris Carter.
Yeah, Randy Moss was there.
Yeah,
it was
just the game.
They were just
15-1 that year.
High flying, limousine riding. I'm kidding. I don't want to get into like Ric Flair.
That wasn't bad, man.
Yeah, that was Ric Flair. I was quoting Ric Flair.
I like it. He ranks second in franchise history in games coached, wins, and winning percentage, trailing only Bud Grant, who is in the Hall of Fame. Everybody knows Bud Grant. He founded the Vikings Community Tuesday program. It's a critical initiative that is now implemented across the entire NFL. He was just a really, really good guy. And you remember, I don't know if you lived in this area yet, but they had the UFL.
Yeah, the Sacramento Mountain Lions. Yes.
And he coached the Sacramento Mountain Lions with Dante Culpepper.
Yes, my favorite, this is something I read last week. My favorite story was from the Bee, from Joe Davison. He's more of the preps writer for the Sacramento Bee. And a story that I read that he wrote that just honestly amazed me was that when Dennis Green was here in Sacramento, when he coached the Mountain Lions in the United States Football League, which is no longer exists.
Yeah.
The thing that Joe Davison remembered about Dennis Green was that he used to fish at the Sacramento River, which I thought was absolutely amazing to me. Mm-hmm. And that kind of like described the person Dennis Green was off the field. Because when he was on the field, he was a mentor, motivator. He was he was that player's coach. And another thing I wanted to bring up was was listening to an interview from Randy Moss. He's being interviewed, I think, on ESPN, and he was just like, well, he said, I will not fine you, but I will cut you. And that's one of my favorite quotes that Randy Moss said about Dennis Green, because he's like, you work hard for this money. I'm not going to take your money away, but I will cut you. When you're here, you're going to work. And I was like, well, man, I like that, man. I like that. And
I got some little bit of more so unknown news about him.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, like fishing at the Sacramento River.
That's good.
That was pretty unknown.
That's the biggest unknown.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That amazed me when I heard it.
No, just little news of the casual fan. Green served as a head coach of Northwestern from 81-85.
Yeah, okay.
And then he was a Stanford coach at the collegiate level. He's also named the Big Ten Coach of the Year in 82. But my trivia question to you, because it's relevant to you and you'll understand if you don't get it right and I tell you, but where did he get his NFL start, serving as his assistant?
San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco
yeah,
49ers.
Yes. Of course. He's one of the from the coaching tree for Bill Walsh.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh coaching tree. He's one of those.
To him in the 80s,
yes.
and the dominant years.
Of course, man.
I'm glad. I'm proud of you for that one.
Oh, thank
you.
you.
There you go. That's some Alex knowledge right
there. There you go. All right.
But I mean, he touched so many people. You look at the players he coached. You have the Cardinals, and you have Kurt Warner and Matt Leinart and Larry Fitzgerald.
Kurt Warner even researched, even though, and I think he doesn't. You know what? He doesn't get enough credit for that Super Bowl team in Arizona.
Warner?
No, Dennis Green, because
he helped build that team.
He helped build that team. And if he wasn't there for the amount of time that he was, I don't think that team would have made the Super Bowl. They would have never been relevant.
It's the same thing if you look at like the Buccaneers in the early 2000s, that one with Gruden. A lot of that team was built by Tony Dungy.
It's kind of like the same with the San Francisco 49ers a couple years ago. Most of the players from that team that played the Ravens 2012, most of that was under Mike Singletary.
And Nolan.
And Nolan, too.
For a little bit. They like Nolan was the one that drafted.
Even though Jim Harbaugh was the coach there.
Yeah, Nolan drafted Patrick Willis, and he was part of the
Alex Smith was Singletary Smith was Mike Nolan's first
Singletary
pick.
Was part of drafting Bowman and a lot of those young good players,
Yeah.
So it's good, and I mean that's obviously
nothing against Ken Wisenhunt when when he made the Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals.
And that's obviously how a lot of coaches, inherit good teams. But Dennis Green, man, he was one of my favorite coaches.
And then I will always remember him for his famous post-game rant. They are who we thought they were. And remember, his Arizona Cardinals blew a 23-3 lead on Monday Night Football in 2006, and they lost 24-23.
At one point, it was 20-0 at halftime.
Exactly. So
man,
he will always be known as that, and that's still one of my favorite post-game rants of all time.
Yeah, we let him off the hook, and he smacks
next
the
to
podium.
Jim Morris playoffs, and then Mike Singletary's "I want winners." So
what my favorite one is?
Upper echelon. What?
It's actually a different Mora one.
It's
when he's talking about. He goes, "Man, we sucked."
Oh,
and then kind of pauses. He goes, "We couldn't do diddly poo offensively."
I remember that. Yes, that was another good one.
That's dubbed as the.
Oh, and then you play to win the game.
Oh,
that Herm Edwards one. Yes.
No, that one's dubbed as the diddly poo rant.
And then it's not up there where Allen Iverson's practice.
Yeah, I separate that one.
Well, because it's
basketball and it's a player.
But I'm like all sports in general. It's there.
I like that one. And T.O.'s. That's my quarterback.
But, I swear, these post game rants. We gotta do a list of
top 5.
We have to do it. We'll do it. We have to do it soon.
We'll do it on a really slow news day.
Yeah, we'll do it.
But no, I mean, he's gonna. Yeah, Dennis Green's gonna stay up there. It's probably my number 2 favorite after Diddley Poo. That'd be my favorite.
Yeah,
I also like
Diddley Poo one's pretty.
I also like Parcells when he straight up just calls the reporter an idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that's a stupid question. I was like, jeez.
I remember Herm Edwards one time. He's like, no question stupid.
Yeah, Edwards is funny. I'm glad he's on ESPN currently. I'm happy he's on ESPN. But to finish off, our condolences do go out to the Green family and everybody that he touched and helped throughout his career in the NFL and football in general.
Yes, definitely. My condolences definitely go out there. And he was only 67.
Yeah.
That's a really young age to die these days.
Yeah.
And
it's a shame.
I don't know. that kind of makes me want to take care better of myself. So I don't want to. I'm gonna be honest. I can't see myself leaving 67 because it's like way too far ahead. But it's like that's a young age to die nowadays.
It is, yeah. I mean,
so
if you look at it that way,
that's something that I kind of look in a way like probably take care of myself in a healthier way. So
yeah, man.
But yeah,
it's too soon.
It's too soon, man. It's too soon. And rest in peace, Dennis Green.
Rest in peace. All right. Well, we are going to move on and take our last break and get into our last segment of the day. So we'll be right back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
All right, welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, and I got to correct myself here.
Okay.
Earlier in the show, I said the Browns played the Patriots on October 3rd. I was wrong. It's October 9th, and yes, that is the week that both Tom Brady and Josh Gordon are eligible to return. Like I said, I'm hyping up that matchup. I'm hyping it up, guys. It's
now that you got it right.
I'm hyping it up now, so it's on the right day. I had to get the right day correct, but the matchup is still real.
All
okay,
right.
But anyway, we got a fun segment we're
It's
introducing
a new segment
to you guys today.
I'm excited.
I am excited too. I was going to do this by myself last week.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you waited for me.
But I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait for Alex to do this. We're going to start a new segment called the 2-minute drill. And this is how it works. We're going to do a bunch of other news that we didn't
little things that missed
that we
wouldn't qualify for a full segment,
or stuff that we just missed, or stuff that we just want to mention.
Exactly, like little stuff. We can't talk about everything when we in our 30 minutes. So it's called the 2-minute drill.
The 2-minute drill, ding, and ding. It is at 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
So Jeremiah and I both have our phones out. We're gonna start our timer.
And I haven't started it yet.
Oh, of course not. We'd be wasting time.
All right, but ready? Okay, I'm ready. All right,
okay, you're starting, right?
I'm starting.
Yeah. Or do you want me to start? We said I would start.
I will. You want to start?
Yeah.
We got to hurry up.
I'll start.
Okay.
Okay, ready? We're going to start
1,
the timer.
2, 3.
All right. So my first bit of news, 2-minute drill style. I actually only have mainly retirees. Greg Jennings, formerly of the Packers, Super Bowl winner, the Vikings, and most recently the Dolphins, has retired. Greg Jennings, receiver, great receiver if you ask me. Believe me, I know. He beat us in the Super Bowl, being a Steelers fan. All right, moving on. Darnell Dockett, former defensive tackle of the Cardinals, played his entire career there, has retired as well. He's been a stalwart there on the defensive line for the Cardinals for a long time, played in the Super Bowl against the Steelers, funny enough, as well in 2008/9 season. So that's a big move for a player that's kind of been Mr. Cardinal for a while. All right, moving on. Phil Lodeholt, longtime Vikings left tackle or tackle. I forget.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah, offensive tackle. Formerly of the Vikings. He's a second-round pick. He played all of his career with the Vikings. He's gigantic, dude. Man, that guy was like 6'8". He's just a monster. And finishing off is something we've talked about before with my last second here. Eugene Monroe, former 8th overall pick in 2009 draft, played 7 seasons with the Jaguars and the Ravens. We've talked about him before, has retired as well. So, lots of retirements that happened this past weekend. Jeremiah, what's your 2-minute drill news?
Okay, 2-minute drill style. The Ivy League football is going to move kickoffs to the 40-yard line.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid, right? Okay.
It's like a field goal.
And then Alden Smith still acting silly.
Still acting silly.
And a parent video posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
It shows him having with a rolled cigarette with a female companion. And then at the end, he says, quote unquote, best quote of the year. At least I didn't put Alden Smith.
Ganja,
and
man.
then retired right tackle, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers, Anthony Davis said he put his reinstatement in. Yes. And then,
seconds.
So
you got this.
That's all.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Man.
No, and then the NFL rookie ratings came in. And then that's all I have.
Well, that's 2-minute drill. You got your alarm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's a good 2-minute drill. You just go ahead and finish on the ratings, and we'll get out of here today.
Okay. Well, the rookie ratings came out today, and the top of the list is Jalen Ramsey with the overall rating of 82. of course, the safety for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's all I have today. But yeah, that was good. That was good stuff.
We'll get better at that.
I think we will. Yeah, I think we'll probably make a game out of it. Be like, I think they'll have a competition within that segment. Is that we'll see who can finish the fastest.
Well, I got
you
about
took you took like an hour. No, you took an hour.
Seconds.
No, you took a minute and 20.
I did not take a minute and 20.
I only have minute and 10.
I was looking at my clock.
No, I have 49 seconds left, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. Okay, but anyway, it worked out. It worked out, guys.
Man.
But that was a little something we wanted to introduce to you guys out there. And we will. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that weekly or daily, but it was fun.
We'll do it at least once. We'll do it
once every week.
Once every week.
So weekly, okay.
If not once every day that we do our shows.
All right. Well, that concludes our show today. But on our next episode, we're gonna preview the independents in college football right now. So I'm talking about Notre Dame, Army, UMass, and
BYU.
BYU. Yes, we will have that for the next episode. And as always, you can check us out on iTunes Monday through Thursday, as we'll have new episodes each and every week. You can also find us on Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud.
Yep.
Follow us on Twitter at GSMC_football.
Yep.
And on Instagram at the same handle.
Yep.
You can like us on Facebook at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
I'm going to do that.
And then you can check our show and our other shows at GSMCpodcast.com.
Yes, you can.
Yes, and you can view a portfolio of our current shows and the shows are coming up, I think late 2016, early 2017.
Yeah,
as I'm told.
It depends on
But yeah, that am I forgetting anything, Alex?
I don't think so.
All right, well, this concludes our show, and thank you for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
or you hear us next time, whatever, how that works out. Whatever.
I'll see you. You won't see me. Boom.
There you go. Yes.
All right, guys. See you guys next time.